It took only 3 games into his first season for Savannah State head football coach Erik Raeburn to be showered with Gatorade. After being outscored 1,100 in their first 2 games in 2016, the Tigers shocked defending MECA champion Bethune-Cookman with a 16-13 upset at TA Wright Stadium. It was a turning point few expected to see so quickly from a program that had just 1 win in its previous 33 games. The Tigers finished 2016 with 3 wins and 20 near misses, a 5-point loss to Florida and a 4-point loss to Hampton University. "I told my wife I've got to be the only coach in the history of football that was 12 and got Gatorade dumped on him," Raeburn said. It was great to see how excited they were. It's a much different culture from Raeburn's previous stop at Wabash College, where he coached a perennial Division III playoff contender. "I came from a school where you win 497, and after the game, you're like, geez, it didn't look like the guys were focused in the fourth quarter. You just expected to win and expected to play well," Raeburn said. "It really helped our guys, gave them some confidence, beating a team that has the tradition in the MEAC that Bethune has. I think it gave our guys some confidence that if we have a great week of practice and we play hard, we can compete with anybody." Slowly but surely, Raeburn is teaching his team how to embrace a culture of winning. Part of that is winning on the road. The Tigers won all 3 of their games at home last season, but they travel to Daytona Beach, Florida, today for a rematch with the Wildcats, still in search for their first road win under Raeburn. "Last year, we struggled on the road," Raeburn said. "All of our wins came at home last year. We were in a couple of road games late in the fourth quarter and couldn't finish them. We've got to learn how to do that for us to progress as a program, for sure. It's a process. You don't go from winning 1 game in 3 years to being perfect every snap. We feel like we've progressed, we've improved, we just have to make it happen on the field." The Tigers came up a few inches short last week of matching their 12th start from last season, but 2 incomplete passes in the end zone with just a few seconds remaining allowed Florida to escape SSU with a 2014 win. With the Wildcats next on the docket, Raeburn said his team hasn't had time to dwell on what might have been. The Tigers caught BCU at the right time last season as quarterback Larry Brim was out with an injury. The Wildcats started 2016-05 before winning 4 of their last 5 after getting Brim healthy. BCU opened conference play with a 26-24 loss to Howard last week in which Brim, now a redshirt senior, completed 16 of 27 passes for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. Preseason Almiac receiver Frank Brown also had a breakout performance with 7 catches for 84 yards and a score after being held in check for the Wildcats' first 3 games. The tandem alone will present a challenge for a struggling Tigers secondary that has yielded 927 yards in 3 games. "I thought we got much better effort out of them last week, but they're going to have to play really well," Raeburn said. "This is a good quarterback, and they've got some talented receivers. Frank Brown has been out conference for 2 years. He's a handful. We're going to need to get more pressure on the quarterback too. It's a combination for us. Our pass defense the first 3 weeks was really poor at all 3 levels." Cat out of the bag, the Tigers will rely on freshman quarterback Devon Gibbons after the Tigers lost starter TJ Bell to a broken foot. The cards are on the table after the athletic Gibbons rushed for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Raeburn knows Gibbons won't be surprising anybody this week. So far, Gibbons is untested as a passer. He completed 8 of 13 passes for 67 yards against the Rattlers, including an interception on his first throw of the game. But Raeburn said he noticed right away that Gibbons has the mentality he's looking for in his quarterback. He came right back on the next drive and led the Tigers to the game's first touchdown. "That was one of the things I was impressed by," Raeburn said. "A true freshman coming in there, and the first ball you throw gets picked, you can get kind of down on yourself and lose confidence, but the guys around him stayed positive, and he shook it off and responded. We went down and scored, and everyone was like, okay, he can get the job done."